Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we're playing some more Black Sack. This is pretty much my stock list, except we're trying out some Mutagenic Growths, which is some tech by Entropete that I played recently on the channel. I had it in my sideboard as that's how he's been using it, but we didn't end up actually going against any of the matches where it was going to be powerful enough to bring in, so we didn't actually see it. The idea of Mutagenic Growth is that it is a free way to pump your creature. This can be powerful just to pump your Nested Shambler or any creature to win in a combat, but it's especially supposed to be used against red decks that are trying to burn your creatures down with a set damage amount, because if they see that your Carrion Feeder can only become a 5/5 on board, they'll be able to count that up very easily on board, unless if you have like a Supernatural Stamina up, and then dedicate the amount of burn necessary to kill your creature, and a Mutagenic Growth can just throw that entirely off balance. So I was thinking about it more and realized that I kind of wanted to try a couple of these in the main deck, just because of the other synergies in the deck. You can also grow your creature so that it can deal a couple more damage with Rite of Consumption, and just overall seems like an okay card, and I wanted to actually try it out. So we're playing a couple of those. Other than that, it's my stock list. Some Bloodthorn Vampires, Carrion Feeders, Beetles, Sadistic Glees to grow, Sage, Shambler, Linkbreaker, Shambling Ghast for fodder, Snuffouts, Cursed Marauder, 2 Rite of Consumption, those Mutagenic Growths, Unearth, Supernatural Stamina, and a few Village Rites. Sideboard is Rotten Reunion, Tragic Slip, Cursed Marauder, Mesmeric Fiend, Drown in Sorrow, Fairy Macabre, Spinning Darkness, Nihil Spellbomb, and a couple more Mutagenics. Let's take it for a league and see how we do. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. All right, this hand is decent enough. We're going to keep it. Stamina plus any fodder is pretty good with a vampire. We are on the draw here against Grixis or Jund. Either way, a bad matchup for us. Looks like Jund to me, which is a little bit better for us. And of course, I definitely wanted to draw 2 more lands in a row, and we already had 3. They got a Wildfire. Generally, this is the turn where, if we could just go all in and win the game. I don't know if there's anything we can draw that would win us the game on the spot. Looks like I play a Sage, Stamina this. That's 6 sacrifices, which is only 13 damage. We are going to swing. I could Stamina the Linkbreaker for 2 damage, but actually if I Stamina the Sage, I also get in for 2 damage by sacrificing it. And I want the Sage because I want flyers to survive Croak Clan Shaman. So I prefer to have 2 of those than 2 mercenaries. I think we'll save the rest to potentially grow the vampire, though. They have a Chrysalis. Beetle is decent. Swing with the team. They're going to block an insect, which will sacrifice, grow our Beetle, hit for 2. They're going to sack their spawn, which grows Beetle as well. I think we're just going to play the other vampire. We're a little all in, but honestly, if they get a Krark Toxin, wipe everything on our board anyway, I don't think our vampire in hand is going to make that big of a difference. And Jund has been playing Toxin Analysis a little bit less, so we might not need to worry about it as much. There's a Cleansing Wildfire. And another Chrysalis. A lot of blockers. Does mean Beetle can just attack in pretty seamlessly. Oh, Rite of Consumption. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 13 damage. So, pretty sure it's already exact. I don't think there's a way that they could gain life with just colorless mana. So I could probably just go for it. But I also don't think there's any downside to just attacking here, because we'll definitely be able to keep 1 vampire alive. We'll just sacrifice everything into 1 vampire. Maybe get in for a little bit more damage. And just on the off chance anything wonky happens, I'd like to do that. The important thing here is anything that's going to die, we sacrifice to 1 single vampire. They do block everything. Sack their spawn. Grows the Beetle. So 5 plus 8, still going to be 13. So we'll sack everything. Fling with the Rite of Consumption. All right, nice start here. Get some tragic slips. Mutagenic is not irrelevant because it could keep a creature alive through a Krark-Clan Shaman. And I don't know if that's really a winning strategy, but it's something that I want to try. So we're going to leave just the 2 in, I think. Just bring in a couple tragic slips for Krark or Chrysalis. This hand needs a sacrifice outlet. That's it. It's the only thing it needs, but it's a risky one. This is usually a bit of a trap. I think on 7 we mulligan it. This hand is worse. We'll go down to 5. Alright, this is a pretty good 7. It's an okay 5. I kind of want to get rid of a swamp. We can play everything for 1, and we save an extra guy. I'm going to do that, because if we get rid of a creature, then draw another swamp, we're just, like, screwed. Just would not have enough spells to get across the finish line, I don't think. Vampire. We'll lead on a Link Breaker. If I just do Carrion Feeder, they could just cast it down, which I don't necessarily like. There's a Wellspring. No red mana or bridge, and we do get the swamp. So I could Vampire, but I think I want to do a Carrion Feeder and a Sage. There's the bridge. Refurb. I think I'm getting rid of Vampire, hoping our Carrion Feeder can take us all the way. Nested Shambler. Link Breaker, we'll just play everything out. Swing with the team. They're going to block the feeder. I think we'll sack both Link Breakers because assuming we don't get wiped, I would like to have the mercenaries for the Shambler. Makeshift Munitions, not that bad, honestly. They can kill the Shambler. They just play a refurb and draw. Okay. Ooh, Rite of Consumption is pretty good. Pump the Shambler. I mean, I assume they'll chump here. If they don't, because we drew the right, I think we can win. Because this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, definitely. They block the Shambler. So we're just going to go all in on the Carrion Feeder. It's got to be at least 9. And we will Rite of Consumption. Perfectly drawn. That's how the deck's supposed to operate. Alright, we're on the play here, and this hand looks pretty good. Stamina, Shambler, Beetle with a Village Rites, which obviously could be a Carrion Feeder to be a little bit better, but I can make 3 squirrels on turn 2. Draw a couple cards. If we're against someone where a bunch of 1/1s is going to be really powerful. Voldar and Epicure. Yeah, I could also play like a Beetle and then Village Rites, but I don't think that's as good. We're going to swing here. Stamina. We are going to Village Rites. Unless they're playing End the Festivities main deck, this seems pretty good. Plus it helps draw us to our sack outlet that we can use multiple times. Highway Robbery. Discarding a Snacker. I think we just play Beetle and Vampire. And then we can swing for a bunch. They block. We'll just let that go through and pass. I could have sacrificed it if I didn't care about the Epicure, but Epicure is a blocker, which could block a much bigger creature. The reason to sacrifice it would be to grow the Beetle out of range of like a Lava Dart, although obviously if they Lava Dart, I can just respond. They go for a Faithless Looting. They get a Fiery Temper, which is probably going to go at the Beetle, I would assume. Because then I have to sack 3 things to keep it alive, and then the Vampire's not very good. But I have all fodder in hand, so it might be worth keeping it around. This is when the Mutagenic could be good, because then if they go for a Bolt on it, I can't keep it alive, and I've wasted a lot of fodder. They could do other things, like Vampire, if they're focused on killing the outlet, but I only have to sack 2 things to keep it alive. They actually just don't Madness it and play a Flame Breather. That's gotta be wrong, I think. But I'll take it. Okay, well, I'm just going to play out every single creature here. Swing with the team. They have to block this. Beetle could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they don't quite have to block it. Getting in for 4. I think I'm going to want to sack this Link Breaker as a mercenary anyway, so let's do that. They just concede. Okay. I mean, yeah, not in a great spot. So Mutagenics are supposed to be good here. That's the idea anyway. Round Reunions and Spell Bombs are okay too. We're cutting a lot of our removal. keeping some of it, but with the Mutagenics, our goal is just to go fast. We're just trying to race. So like I'll bring in the Spinning Darkness. In my guide, I would bring in Tragic Slips, but we're trying the Mutagenics as a replacement. That's also why we don't have any life gain in the sideboard except for the Darkness, is because we're just trying to race them. We're not actually trying to gain more life here. So we'll see how this goes. We got a Mutagenic. Unfortunately, 4 lands and 2 growers is not going to work. This one's decent, though. I probably have to get rid of... Well, it's a Shambler or a Village Rites. Glee and Shambler's so good. It's much better if I have another Shambler, though. So I think it's got to be Village Rites. Unearth is not bad. We'll start with the Shambler, see if they just want to, like, dart that. They say no. Flame Breather. Could bluff attack. Oh, no longer a bluff attack. I was going to say bluff attack, bluffing that I have a stamina, but do I even want to use this to kill this? Because it's meant to be around to keep this here. Yeah, I mean, I think so. If they want to block, I can kill that, and the Shambler becomes 3/3, dies into 3 squirrels. I could then just play a Vampire. So I think I play the Vampire. I have Mutagenic Growth and a Shambler, but I also have an Unearth. So I could have played like Sadistically Shambler, but then I don't have the ability to sacrifice any creatures to grow, and I might waste the Sadistically, which is a really good tool here. So I think I want to do this. They start with a Robbery. Discard a Looting. Play a Mountain. They're going to bolt the Vampire. So here I could just Mutagenic Growth the Shambler, sack it and 1 squirrel. Of course, it's not coming back. But I could keep the Vampire alive, and I'd have 2 squirrels left. But I kind of want that to happen after the Sadistic Glee is on this. Well, is on one of these. So I could just unearth this. I think I'm letting it go. I could, if I draw a swamp, I get to play all 3 of these, which is honestly not bad for us. Not that I generally want to draw a swamp, but yeah, if we do, I get to Shambler on Earth, and then Sadistically. And the reason this is so good is that I have a sack outlet, I have this Shambler growing, and I have this Shambler which I can pump and sacrifice to grow this. They have an End the Festivities. Okay. So, that's interesting. So I want to growth this Shambler and then sacrifice it to grow these 2. But then I have 3 squirrels that are all going to die, so I have to sack all of them, which means that this will be pretty big. The Vampire is only big this turn. It's either that or I just sacrifice this, which grows them both. And then I don't have a bunch of counters on this, so I think this is still our goal. It also just gives us another point where they have to like potentially interact. Like if they want to bolt this in response or dart it, then that's fine. Sacrifice the Shambler. And now they could like bolt one of these while this triggers on the stack, which would probably be their best course of action because they could either kill the Vampire or, yeah, cast in the Fire on them. Okay, so I could just sack 1 to keep the other alive. Interesting choice. The Vampire's good. I'm going down to 12 here. The Vampire's, of course, great. But all of these squirrels are going to die anyway. So keeping the Vampire alive and sacrificing this means I'm actually going to lose 1 squirrel there. I'm going to have 1 Vampire alive. That's not going to be good enough. So I'm actually going to sacrifice the Vampire to itself to grow the Shambler here so that it survives. And then these squirrels are all going to die, which is going to grow it even more. So now I'm left with a 6/6. We're at 12, 11 now, actually. They have 2 cards in hand. We could definitely die, but we don't really have a course of action other than to race. Obviously, if we can hit him with this and then draw a Right of Consumption, that would be lethal next turn, which would be pretty good. Definitely an awkward spot. The growth was good, but it wasn't the best thing ever in that situation. It's a lot better if it's a Carrion Feeder or a Beetle it's trying to keep around, obviously, because if the Vampire was growing, then we probably would have kept it. Growing permanently, that is. They have a Faithless Looting. Discards a Lava Dart and a Snacker. Play a Mountain. Gutter Snipe. Attack. Right of Consumption. That's not it. So if I attack, they could Lava Dart the Beetle. I would take 3. Then they flash back Faithful Suiting, I take 3, and then they attack for 3 and I die. So I have to not attack. Yeah, I probably die anyway. But if we got Graveyard Hate, Spinning Darkness, anything like that, we could have been okay. Obviously, Rite of Consumption. I guess I could have attacked and maybe they would have blocked with the Gutter Snipe because they knew a Rite of Consumption would be lethal. But it felt like if they attacked with the Flame Breather, that means they weren't attacking with the Gutter Snipe. Or rather, they weren't blocking with the Gutter Snipe because otherwise they would have probably saved 1 damage to keep the much better creature. But, I don't know. They have a Lava Dart on the Beetle. And just pass. We get a Swamp. I mean, I'm going to... They have a Faithful Suiting in the graveyard, so it doesn't really matter. I guess even if they block with the Gutter Snipe here, which they would block with this one, I'm dead regardless. It was close. Mutagenic did not do quite what I wanted it to. Ugh. See, this hand is definitely a trap hand. It's so close. If we get just a Carrion Feeder or even a Vampire, we're in a very good spot. But if we don't, we just lose. This one is not a phenomenal, but it is acceptable. Get rid of a Swamp. Start with a Link Breaker. Get our Swamp back. Attack for 1 if they're going to Lava Dart it. Play a Sage and a Carrion Feeder. They bolt the Feeder, and I'm going to let that go because I don't want to sack all 3 of these and then just have them Lava Dart it. And I have a Feeder in hand, which I'm hoping I'll have another piece of fodder or something to protect it by this turn. Sadistically is something. It's pretty all in, but that's kind of where I need to be. If they have a Bolt plus they use their Lava Dart, then they can kill this. Yup. At least we'll get them to sack a land, I guess. Yep, there's the Lava Dart. They are on 1 land. Problem is, can we really recover from this position? If they don't draw a land for like 4 turns, then maybe. There it is. Right away, though. And they have a Grab the Prize of the Snacker. Why not? Perfect. Swing for 2. Gutter Snipe. I'll kill the Gutter Snipe. I have a Shambler to play. Another Robbery. Discard a Faithful Suiting. We get a Swamp. Perfect. Go for their Robbery. Fiery Temper. Grab the prize with a Lava Dart. And a Flame Breather. Swing for 2. We draw a Bloodthrone Vampire. They got a Lava Dart there, though. I don't think there's any way we can get out of this, unfortunately. Sorry, this video might be a little scuffed. I noticed this buffering symbol, and I'm trying to deal with it. I was hoping it was not coming through the video, but it looks like it is. And in dealing with that, I turned off the recording momentarily, and so we missed the first 2 turns of this match. They played a Fairy Seer, scryed to the top. We kept a 1-lander, but we ended up Village Rightsing our creature to make sure we hit our second land. I also snuffed out the Fairy Seer. They cycled Lorien for Contaminated Aquifer, and now we're here. They're snuffing out a Mercenary. Now, I would want to Village Rites that, but they have up the mana for a Spell Stutter. So if they were casting something down, I would Village Rites, but since they aren't... Oh, I should have obviously sacrificed the Carrion Feeder. I'm just a little distracted right now. I feel like they might have a Suffocating Fumes, which is not the end of the world, because I could just grow this. It would be a lot less end of the world if I had just sacked that to the other thing. Alright, we're attacking for 2. I could unearth. They Spell Stutter that, then I get a Village Rites off. It's not the best thing ever. I think we're just going to pass. Agony Warp the Carrion Feeder. Cannot keep that alive, so I'm just going to Village Rites it. I could unearth it, but if they have a Spell Stutter up, then that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to bait that. They don't have a land drop or anything, though. So I'll swing for 1. Shambling Ghast. That's fine. Beetle. They do have the Suffocating Fumes. I guess this is kind of bad, but they counterspell. Not even a Spell Stutter. We'll get back the Carrion Feeder. Alright, not terrible. Snuff out. So we have 2 ways to interrupt a Spell Stutter now. Sewer Valence Scam, sure. Swing. I think we're just going to pass. Don't really want to put Glee on anything specific if it gets just cast down. The main thing I would want to put it on is like the Sage, but I don't want to put it on the Sage because then I'm basically putting our 1/1 flyer behind a wall that we don't want to sacrifice. There's an Augur Bolas. Picking up a Lorien. So they're going to cycle for an island. Mutagenic Growth. So yeah, I should have sacked the Sage on the end step because then I could have this on our flyer, but it's fine. I want a Cursed Marauder, make us sack this, grow here. We're getting in for 5. I could Mutagenic Growth. I guess I could sacrifice, which would make it 6, 7, 8. Oh, they're at 8. Then sure. I guess we can go for 8 damage. Make it lethal. We are showing the Mutagenic, but obviously getting in for lethal is worth it. Not sure the Mutagenics are going to be very helpful here, and obviously we want Tragic Slips against fairies. Well, I'm trying to troubleshoot this, and I just am not figuring it out, so it might just be happening for the rest of the video. Hopefully we'll figure out before the next video. This hand is very close, but we got a mulligan, I think. This one doesn't do anything. Yep. Always takes till 5 till we get a good hand. Or at least a decent hand. There's a Fairy Seer. Play a Sage. Bajuka Bog. See if they have a Moon Circuit Hacker. Looks like they do. Sadistic Glee. We'll just play a Vampire, and I'm not going to get in for 1 and let them get in with their Hacker. Cycle a Lorien. Play the Fairy Seer again. 1 to the top. Pass. Sage. Part of me wants to put it sadistically on the Vampire, but it's just all in. Dies to 1 cast down. I think it's probably better to put it on an Insect. We'll swing with both. Double block the Vampire. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I do have to trade 2 pieces of fodder if I want to keep my Vampire alive, which I do. Obviously, having a sadistically out would have been better beforehand, but the chances they make this block if I have the sadistically out are very low. So it's not terrible for me to like trade that stuff off, but they're probably thinking that the longer the game goes, the better it is for them, which is true. And so if they can just get me to use my fodder early, I can't necessarily have as explosive turns later on. They go for a Brainstorm, then a Fairy Seer. Scry 1 to the top. They're going to pass. Carrion Feeder. They could have a Spell Stutter up. So I think we just attack. They're going to block the Vampire. We'll sack here. They could cast down if they have that. And they do. Well, I'll play a Carrion Feeder and sadistically the Insect. Brainstorm. Play an Aquifer. No attacks. Vampire. Yeah, Vampire gets Spell Stuttered if they have it. Which they do. I guess we pass. Probably should have held the Vampire. I can't really deal with the Spell Stutter coming back, so I think I have to block it. Question is, do I want to sack the Feeder? I think yes. I mean, we're in a very bad spot, but sacking the Feeder means the Insect lives unless they have a cast down or whatever. And then eating the Spell Stutter means this gets another counter. So 3/3 flyer sounds decent. They have Extract Confession, and they collect evidence just to make sure I couldn't create like a 1/1 at instant speed. Play a Shambler. They just have another Spell Stutter. Well, I was just banking on them not. Again, probably should have waited. If they have the Ninja, which we thought they had before, then I'm pretty sure this game's just over. That's not going to work. I guess this one is fine. We need some fodder, but we have a lot of ways to make that happen. Beetle, Vampire. Swing for 1. Any piece of fodder now just does wonders for us. I mean, Shambler specifically is the best. Link Breaker. I mean, if I cast it, they counter. Then I unearth it. It's still not the worst. It isn't the best either. I don't want to sacrifice it now because I want to try to stamina it next turn, probably. At least have the potential to do that. Brainstorm. And then Fairy Seer. Pass the turn. They're tapped out though, so that's really good. Oh, and we get to unearth. Can we just deal lethal? Yes, definitely. So stamina on this. Sacrifice. Comes back. We get a bunch of counters and such. Sacrifice again. Unearth. And then we can Spinning Darkness. Sacrifice some more. Attack for a bajillion. 20 damage. Alright, pretty good. This no-lander is not going to cut it. This one is fine. We're against more Dimir. Start with a Carrion Feeder because we have no fodder to start with and we have plenty of growers. Cycle Lorien for an island. Preordain. So it could be Dimir Terror. Shambling Ghast. I think we'll just start with a Vampire. Swing for one. They have an Aquifer and a Snacker. Shambling Ghast. Sack that to pick off the Snacker. Play another Carrion Feeder. Swing for 3. Cycle a Lorien. Feel like they have Suffocating Fumes, but they're going to pass to us. We get an Infestation Sage. I'll just play that. If they want to counter it, I can unearth. Sprite. Okay. Definitely was still thinking it was Terror. Do I want to get the Shambling Ghast then? Just because it can pick off Sprite easier? No, I still think I want the one that can be double sacrifices, plus it blocks the Sprite, so that's fine. Swing with the team. Block the Vampire. We'll sack the Sage. Maybe we should just sack this other feeder because now I don't have anything to stamina. Maybe I also should have stamina'd the Shambling Ghast earlier instead of unearthing it, but... Or I guess I unearthed the Sage. I don't know. I wanted the stamina in case we get like a Shambling Ghast. They play a Snacker. Mortician Beetle. Feel like they're going to have a Spell Stutter or just a counter spell for the Beetle. But I don't really have a way to bait it. Yeah, let's go for the Marauder, actually. I don't really care if they counter this. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had like a Snuff Out here at some point. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to pass. They're going to pass. I think I'm going to pass again. I want to get this Beetle down, but they have all the mana in the world. There's a Fumes. Okay. So, probably just go in on the Beetle. Not the Beetle, the feeder, the second feeder. So we have 2 feeders. So I think we Village Rites the Insect. Rite of Consumption kind of makes me want to keep the Vampire around in case they tap out, but that's kind of far away. I think we're going to just sack here. Then they have a Thorn. Okay, not too bad. They're tapping out. Another Rite of Consumption. So we have a Link Breaker and a Beetle here. Maybe I should have just done the Link Breaker, because now if I attack, sack the Link Breaker, I don't have anything to stamina next turn. But if I don't attack now, they'll block the Beetle, but then the Snacker comes back. Ugh, I don't know. I'm just going to pass. Don't feel like the game's lost yet, but it's getting there. Shambler. I'm going to cast it because I would like it to resolve, but if it doesn't, then it's baiting for this stamina to resolve on the Link Breaker, which is at least something. Swing with the team. Obviously, they could still have another counterspell or a cast down or something, but we're hoping that's not the case. Blocking everything, not this. I feel like they're got to be casting that down then, because otherwise they could lose everything, and I'd get the Monarch, and they don't want that. I could just pass priority. Currently, we're trading for everything except for the Thorn, but we're taking the Monarch. It's not that great. But if they then cast down the feeder, because I kind of want the stamina to go on the Beetle, actually, so it comes back. I mean, they clearly have something, which I assume is a cast down. I really think they're going to cast it, so I kind of want to pass priority so that they tap out. But if they don't, then I lose the Beetle for, like, not even killing the Thorn. And I lose my feeder over here. Alright, we're going to stamina onto this Beetle. They have a cast down for this feeder as anticipated. So we'll sack it. Grow here. Oh, I do have to sack one more thing for this to not die, though. Which means I really wanted to kill everything. But I have to keep this alive. We have Rite of Consumptions and stuff in hand, which means I have to sack this, which means they keep a Spell Stutter. Ugh, what a disaster. We do get to keep our Beetle this way, as opposed to 2 more pieces of fodder. Is that worth it? I don't know. Maybe not. It wasn't terrible for us, but it wasn't great either. They have another Snacker. I guess we're singing with the team and hoping they don't have another cast down, which I feel like they will. Oh, okay. They blocked with both. Carrion Feeder gets the Monarch. I mean, if they have like a Brainstorm get back all the snackers. That's not great. Sadistically, they don't. Okay. Maybe we have a shot then. Preordain. Play an island. Extract a confession is not great. But if they can't get the Monarch, then we have a chance still. Sage. I'm hoping that there's no spell stutter here. But if there was, it'd be really bad. Village Rites, okay. Ninja Hardcast. Sure. Gonna Village Rites the Sage. Just draw some more. Link Breaker. Vampire. Gonna put Sadistically on this insect. And attack. Pass the turn. We get to draw a card. Cast down the Vampire. Sack it to itself. Why not? Grows the insect. I will chump block. Keeping the Monarch, keeping them from drawing a card, growing our Sadistically insect, which they can just cast down. Okay, fair enough. Stamina. I can stamina this and then write a consumption. Doesn't quite win us the game. It's close. I think we'd rather just stamina trade with the ninja then. We'll block. Hope for no counterspell. They'll trade. They have another ninja. Okay, a Lorien. I was going to say that's not as bad, but actually with the snackers that I forgot about, it's definitely way worse. Shambling Ghast. Sadistically doesn't even feel worth it on it. But what else am I going to put it on? Sage. Swing for 4. They have a ninja. Replay Snacker. Sage. I could like write a consumption the Sages a couple of times to grow this Shamligast, but I think our best bet is maybe finding a way to write a consumption for lethal. So that doesn't seem very good. Preordain, scries to the bottom, Brainstorm. Swing with a ninja and a snacker. We'll chump. Grow this guy. Augur Bolas. Finds a Snuff Out. Is this still game 1? I guess it is, isn't it? Because I was like, why do they still have that? I could attack with an insect. They block with a snacker. This goes up to 4, but that's not going to be lethal. So we'll pass. Attack with everything. I don't want them to draw, but I also kind of think that the only way for us to have a shot is to get the Ghast to be big enough to write, and they have no counterspells, so I'm going to block where it kills 2 guys, I guess. Play their 4th snacker. Augur Bolas. Another Snuff Out. Draw. Vampire. Play a Vampire. Swing. Maybe they don't block, you know? There's a world. They block. That's 4 damage, so I'm going to sack the Vampire to itself to grow here. This is 5, but I'm only going to be able to kill 2, which is 1 away from being able to write a consumption for lethal. If they don't have a ninja, they don't have us dead. I mean, do they have 1 counterspell? Almost 100%, but technically we have an out, and we'll keep playing to it. All right, they do have a ninja. Yeah, that was just game 1. Forgot about that. Don't need mutagenics. This hand is acceptable. Just need some fodder. Vampire attack with the beetle. Lorien revealed for an aquifer. Come on, give me some fodder. Come on, dude. Attack for 2, I guess. Cycle the Lorien. Snacker. Another Sadistically. Without any fodder, what? I could go all in on one of these guys, like here, and then they block, and then I sack, and then they just cast it down and I die. So I think we're just going to pass. They're going to pass back to us, and we're going to continue drawing terribly. Play another snacker. Oh my god. Swing with a snacker. They got a ninja, which I'm going to snuff out. I should have just hard cast it. I don't know why I alternative cast it. Force a habit. Yeah. Village Rites. Oh, amazing. I definitely want to sacrifice something I have on board. We're going to pass again. Replay the snacker. Leave up their counter spell or spell stutter they've been leaving up. Another snuff out. We'll pass the turn. 14 fodder creatures in the deck, by the way. Pachuca Bog, going to be minorly annoying because I needed that card for Spinning Darkness, which I guess I can just hard cast. They attack with a Snacker. There's a Sage. Is it going to resolve? Absolutely not. See, that's the frustrating part about this, is that I finally got what I need, but I can't just cast it because they have multiple counterspell mana up. So if I had been drawing these for 2 or 3 turns, I could maybe play one. Attack with the Snacker. Augur Bolas. Get a Lorien Revealed. Supernatural Stamina. I'm going to put a Sadistically on a Vampire. They're going to cast it down. I can Stamina it. Then they might counter that. Or they might leave it. Either way, I'm going to Village Rites it. Grow the Beetle. This comes back. Counterspell the Village Rites. Sure. Gets a counter. Sadistically is going to fizzle. But now I can play a Sage. And I can play another Sadistically. I guess my best bet... I took out Rite of Consumptions because they get countered too easily. So I probably want to put a Sadistically on this Insect. And then attack. Maybe should have Spinning Darkness before I sack the Sage, because if I get an Unearth, I'm going to want to use that. Whereas they're going to double block here, and so I'm going to Spinning Darkness the Augur. I could have snuffed it out, but I didn't want to lose the life. Plus, snuff out can be better for other creatures, but I guess everything that it hits, it probably hits everything in this deck. Like everything's going to have 3 or less toughness, that is. No Lorien Revealed for them, meaning they have multiple things up they want to cast potentially. I don't think I want a Link Breaker yet, because if they block with a Snacker, and then I can Link Breaker and they have a Spell Stutter, I could at least snuff it out to keep it around. They're going to block here. My guy is going to grow. They're going to immediately Brainstorm to bring them back. Fair. I guess that's going to make it so the Snuff Out is not able to stop the Spell Stutter, which it already would. Like them doing the Brainstorm already would have stopped it, but I kind of forgot about that. So I don't think I play the Link Breaker then, because I feel like they've so heavily telegraphed the fact that they have a Spell Stutter. Attack with the Snacker. I assume there will be a Ninja, which I will kill. Since this isn't doing me a lot of good against Spell Stutters, I might as well kill it. They have a Ambusher. Sure. Probably, usually you're supposed to wait till the end step to kill a fairy, or not a fairy, a ninja there, for that exact reason. Well, I did force them to probably only have one counter spell here, so we can Link Breaker. If they counter it, I can Link Breaker again. If they don't counter it, I can Link Breaker again. They might have a Cast Down. Okay, they do counter spell the second one. If I attack, this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, if they block the Vampire, I'll just sack the Link Breaker and keep the Mercenary around, not go all in, because it's not lethal. If it were, I would, obviously. Hit for 9, grow the insect more, pass the turn. Extract a Confession. It's going to get the insect. No way around that, so I'll just let it go. The beetle grows. Insect did good work. I know they have another ninja, and I just don't really want them to gain life. I don't think I want to waste this mercenary, though. I think it's fine. They can gain life or a card or whatever they want. Cast down the beetle. Well, that's annoying. Can't have anything nice. Sage. And they have a counterspell? Come on. I know they have a Lorien and a Ninja. One unknown, now 2. I feel like we had a real shot there for a little while, and then they just hit every removal spell in their deck. Swap the Ninjas for a card draw. Snacker. Oh yeah, I guess their last card was the Snacker that they had picked up with the Ninja, too. So we knew everything in their hand. Brainstorm to bring back another Snacker. And play another one. Of course, perfect timing on the Rotten Reunion. Excellently timed. They have a Sewer Valence Cam. Tap both of our guys. We die. Ugh, really frustrating there. Alright, this one's not good enough. Last round with the buffering going on. Gonna play a Shambling Ghast. Get rid of the second vampire because we already have redundancy with the unearth if we need it. We're against elves, meaning we will definitely be using Shambling Ghast against elves, and the unearth will definitely be for Ghast. We'll attack for 1, and then we'll vampire. Not going to pick off the Elvish Mystic. If I knew they had no other lands in hand or anything, I probably would, but as is, it's better to save it for a priest or something, or a Quarian Ranger. There's another Mystic, and a Priest of Titania. Rite of Consumption is really good. Question is, when can we go for it? Because I have to kill this priest. There's no way that I can let them have like 10 plus mana this turn. So if I'm going to sack the Shambling Ghast, and I might want to unearth it and sack it again, then I might as well do it pre-combat, because then I get in for more damage. The thing is, I could just kill this. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because then I could play 2 Sages, and then I have lethal next turn, assuming they don't block. There's no guarantee of that, though. But that's without drawing a swamp. I have lethal, which I think is best. Alright, we will attack. So if I knew I wanted to sack this, ping this off, unearth it, and sack it again, I would want to do it now because I would want to get the damage in. But since I think I'm just going to use it once, because I would like to play Sage, and have the Rite of Consumption up next turn, then I'm just going to attack with both because, I mean, I guess if they don't block, I could get in for 2, but I am going to sack this turn anyway, which means I might as well get in for 3. So it doesn't really matter that much. Kill off the priest. And again, I could unearth the Shambling Ghast, ping it off. It's pretty good, but I just don't think it's better than potentially having lethal next turn. Chances they block next turn are almost 100%. So they have 4. They are untapping for a 5th, so this could be an Avenging Hunter, or just like a Hydra for 3 or 4. It is going to be Hydra for 4. Okay. Ooh, sadistically means if I play that, I can't Rite of Consumption this turn. However, it means I'm also actually growing the vampire permanently. So if I attack here and they like block with the Hydra, I don't sack 2 of these and then lose everything. So I think we are going to do that because it makes it so that I can also potentially build up to a 16 Rite of Consumption even without dealing any more damage. And since we have the 1 mana over, we might as well do that. 1, 2, 3, 15. So I could do lethal with the vampire, which means they have to block it. So that's decent. They go straight to blocks, not untapping anything. And okay, yeah, they almost weren't going to block with the Quarian Ranger, but they have to. Block here. So might as well sack that one. And I don't want to over-sacrifice, even though I could like sack a Ghast here. We're already killing the Quarian, which is pretty good. I could pick off a Mystic. I know they have 1 land in hand, so the difference between 4 mana and 3 mana here is not that big of a difference. Like, there's no specific creature they can play for 4 unless they're playing like Lizalana Huntmaster, which I wouldn't be worried about. So I'm just going to let them have it. Yeah, because if they have a Timberwatch Elf and a 1-drop, that's fine. Question is, can I get up to lethal with the Rite of Consumption? I have 4 sacrifices, which is plus 12, which is 15. So yes, I can just kill them, not to mention they're going to have to chump block. I can pick something off with the Ghast. So we should just have lethal. Swing with the Hydra. They can untap it so they're not worried about it. Play a Swamp. We'll just attack first. Same as before. Pretty positive there's no way we can lose here, but on the off chance they're playing like, I don't know, a main deck Life Goes On or something crazy. Like, might as well get in for a little bit more damage. They just chump there. Sure. This will grow. Sack the Ghast, pick off Quarian Ranger. So it's 8, 11, 14, 17, and we'll Rite of Consumption. All right, we took that one down. We get a whole bunch of removal. I have been experimenting with swapping out the Drowned in Sorrows for just more like single target removal. Forgot to make that change here, but that's okay. This hand looks pretty dang incredible against elves. Now we are on the draw and it doesn't have any interaction. Usually you want interaction or you want a very fast start. Obviously here we're going for the very fast start. I guess it could be a little bit more incredible if one sadistically was just a piece of fodder, preferably a double body creature. But in the couple turns it'll take to deploy all this, hopefully we'll find them. I start with the Beetle because they might have Monstrous Emergence, which they do. And so I didn't want to lose the feeder. They play a Mystic, Tragic Slip. Here I will play the feeder and the beetle. And if they have another one, then we have a vampire. It's not the end of the world, I suppose, although it's still not the best. And they do have another one with a generous gift from hand. Generous Ent, not generous gift. So I'll sack the feeder to itself to grow the beetle. I mean, that probably means they don't have the best, like, actual elves start. They had a disruptive start, which is decent. Now they cycle the Ent for a cabin, which they play tapped. Swamp. Don't think I want to Tragic Slip anything on board here. Swing for 2. I'm going to sadistically onto the vampire. I'm a little worried they could have a third monstrous emergence, in which case we'll lose the vampire and the sadistically. But I kind of want to use my mana in case I get a 1-drop next turn and I want to cast everything in my hand. So we'll take that chance. Another Llanowar Elves, and they are using the best Llanowar Elves artwork. So I got to commend them for that. Swinging with their 1-drops. That's a very good sign. Get another vampire. I guess I might as well sadistically on this vampire again, because we play Rite of Consumption, so we might want to have one big creature. So I could do it on this or the beetle. I could do it over here, but I'm probably going to turn this vampire into fodder, especially if they block with their elves here, which they're not going to. So I could sack for +4 damage, or no, +5 damage to make it 8. I don't think we will. As soon as I get some fodder, I think we're in a very good spot. Right now we're already in a decent spot, but not the most impressive ever. They have a generous Ent. Shambling Ghast. There we go. So I'm going to sack the Shambling Ghast. I think we might just have lethal now. Pick off an elves. All of this. Grows that. Tragic Slip this guy. And sacrifice this vampire. And we hit for 17. Alright, able to get a 2-3. No, a 3-2. Even better. We did play against Mono Red Madness one time, which is what we wanted to test the mutagenic growth against. It wasn't great, but I think it was just the circumstances we were in, and it's a very small sample size, so I'm not necessarily against continuing to test it. It was one that we cut more than we kept in post-main, post-sideboard, so definitely a reason why it might just be a sideboard card, but I think it warrants for further testing from me, and I'll probably keep trying it out. We had a little bit of unluckiness in the day, but overall I think it was pretty standard. And, we went above average, so can't complain too much. Thanks so much to my supporters, including my $10 and up monthly supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, go ahead and check out my Metafy link down below, or you can join my YouTube memberships where you can get early access to videos. Thanks to my current $10 and up supporters, Howard Granger, JD NPX, Halkaz, Cody Cowell, DJ Vinyl, In Buns We Bust, Bertaco BC, Mr. Soleo, Paladillin C, and Blackjack Davey. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.